This video was created for Reconceptualizing Early Childhood, EDUC 3069. A common perception is that risky play is dangerous and should not be undertaken by young children. In recent years, stronger regulations have been implemented in order to cater for children's safety. This makes it more difficult for educators to find the right balance between risk-taking and challenges while also following the regulations that have been put in place. The idea of risky play is often a scary concept for parents to comprehend, as they may not have an idea about the research and the ideas behind the risky play. Research shows that risky play can have a positive effect on children for a range of reasons. Parents need to be educated on this concept in order for risky play to be implemented in centres and schools. A common result of children not being allowed to partake in risky play is the children feeling disempowered and unable to understand how to deal with risky situations by themselves. The main concern that parents have of children and risky play is that they do not want their child getting injured or worse. In regards to risky play, adults need to ensure that they are aware of the risks and the consequences of these risks.
Dawson wants to come down the steps head first. It's a tricky manoeuvre. The adults aren't always within reaching distance and often encourage the children to persevere and master their skills on their own. Knowing someone's interested and watching what they're doing gives them the confidence to persevere. There needs to be a balance between keeping them safe and allowing the children to explore for themselves, allowing a tolerance for minor bumps.
It's so important for them to take risks. It sets out the foundations for them in life, really. And the children have to be able to experience the whole gym, and they can't do that unless they are taking risks. So the difference between running up the slide and running up the ramp is a completely different experience for them. It's slippy up the slide and there's carpet on the ramp.
I think it's better if you come the other way, girls.
Lily's keen to come down head first, but bumps ahead.
Did you bump your head? Okay. You have to keep your head up when you come down that way.
She's just as keen to do it again.
Changed your mind. You okay? Watch your head when you come down. That's better, isn't it? Then you don't bump your head.
It's a powerful learning experience. Boisterous play encourages all sorts of movement. The children are learning to gain real control over their bodies. They're mastering physical skills. Jack and Simon have the freedom to run, jump, slip and slide as they want. They have little tumbles, which helps them learn about balance and how to navigate around each other. The staff have confidence in their abilities and don't show anxiety about their activities, encouraging them not to be too fearful. Of course, they're ever watchful.
Chang, 2011, believes that if adults are removing the risky play from young children's play, they are likely to be more anxious during play when they're older. Parents often intervene with risky play less than educators. This may be due to the fact educators have guidelines and regulations that they need to adhere to when in a professional setting. When children injure themselves in a centre, it may have a negative effect on the parent's opinion of the educator and may reflect a negative opinion on the centre itself. Little, 2010, states that parents' views on responding to risk-taking behaviour are context-dependent. This means that in one setting, the parent may intervene in the risky play, but in another setting they may not. An example of this context dependency would be if there was a younger child around. A parent may think a child is capable enough for risk-taking behaviour for example, climbing a tree. But if there is a younger child who is unable to climb the tree safely, the parent may intervene. This will stop the other child from imitating the behavior and potentially causing harm to his or herself. Educators in an early childhood setting need to ensure that the risks they are allowing children to take are safe. They need to ensure that the outcome of the risk is not going to cause serious harm to the child. This is not just physical harm, but mental harm as well. If a child falls from a high tree that an educator has said is safe, they may not want to partake in climbing for a period of time due to the pain that they remember from falling. This being stated, not all serious injuries are caused by falling. Educators need to ensure that all risk-taking experiences are safe, including jumping and climbing over objects. The imitating behavior of younger children can be a negative of risk-taking play. Younger children may not be able to analyze the play and see the potential harm. The imitating behavior may not occur straight away either. The child may attempt to recreate the experience that they witnessed when there is no supervision, which can cause harm. For safe risk-taking play to exist, the adult must ensure that all participants are able to successfully monitor the risks themselves while still supervising the play. Although not all risky play has a negative outcome, it is important for adults to remember the two types of risks. The first is a challenge, in which case a risk is obvious to the child and individually they can determine their ability whether to take that risk. The other is a hazard, where the risk is not obvious to the child, which often results in an injury of the child. From KidSafe 2012. Although children need to be responsible for their own actions, it is ultimately the main responsibility of the adult to ensure that the risks that children are taking are safe. A negative result of risky play could occur if an adult does not know the physical capability of a child. This could lead to a child falling from a high place or other results, which could result in serious harm to the child. If a child falls from a low tree, it could lead to a broken arm or other injuries. Although this is not necessarily a good thing, it will also heal after a period of time. If an adult is not reviewing the child's physical capabilities before risky play, and the child is put in an unsafe situation, it could lead to injuries that can be life-changing and life-threatening.